You want sports? We got sports for you right here, Woodward Sports.
I'm never late. I'm always on time.
Oh.
When have I ever watched him?
I want wings and pizza.
Is wings and pizza?
I want wings and pizza.
Yeah. I played with that gorilla. You hear me?
Okay. You have a Tesla. You float here.
Hey, what's up? This is Sean Baligian of Baligian and Bell. Hope you are enjoying your 4th of July extended weekend. We've got the day off. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a best of, and we use that term very, very loosely. The first segment is a Monday when my partner was off, and we had Terry Foster and Braylon Edwards sitting in with us. Enjoy. You know what's interesting? We had this conversation the other day, and since we were talking about the NFL, I hope our producer Kennedy doesn't kill me. I just thought to myself, we got Terry Foster here, we got Braylon Edwards here, two guys that would probably have a unique perspective on it. So Dan Campbell's taken some heat from some people nationally and some people locally for some of his antics. And, you know, just as a reminder to you guys out there and to Terry and Braylon that maybe didn't get a chance to hear my take on it, I don't have a problem with it. It's all fine and dandy. Okay, fine. But if the Lions struggle the way that many people, including yours truly, struggle in the next year or two, it's something easy for people to look at, right? We should have seen this coming. Our coach has on a racing helmet. Our coach, you know, the things that people love about this guy now are going to be the things. I use Braylon. I use the example of Brady Hoke. It was amazing how quickly the mob turned on Brady Hoke. He doesn't even wear a headset. Well, he didn't wear a headset in that first magical year, and nobody had a fucking word to say about it.
The Sugar Bowl, right?
And so that's the way that fans are, and that's the way that things are. Terry, I heard you say this to Braylon, so I don't want to steal your thunder. I think you had a unique take on it, and some of the Dan Campbell antics.
I'm wondering if Dan Campbell is an overreaction by the Lions for hiring Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia came in here, and they told him, day one, don't try to be Bill Belichick. Don't be an ass. It's exactly what he did. He said, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want to do. So the locker room became so toxic that when the Lions were looking for a new coach, this was my comment. They don't need a guy who is an expert on X's and O's. They need a guy that's going to recharge that locker room. And so I'm wondering if Dan Campbell is that guy that they overreacted to. That he came in, during his interview, he was a clown. He was having fun with everybody. And one of the first things Sheila Ford said at the press conference is, get a load of this guy. Well, this is who he is. So what I don't know is how will athletes respond to this? The public, you know, you get Joe Six-Pack, I'll run through a wall for this guy. Now I'm wondering if Joey Washboard feels the same way, who's in that locker room. Like, okay, this guy's a little bit too crazy for me. And I talked to Joique about this, and Joique said, I guarantee you, in the locker room, he tones it down. But in the public, he can act like a clown.
I think at the end of the day, we're seeing a new culture now as it relates to coaching and people doing things a different way than the past. Like in the past, you used to old coaches, white hair, been around forever. They were under Shula or Seifert or Holmgren, etc. And you used to seeing a certain type of coach. Now you're seeing a little fun, more quirky, like Dan Campbell, the stuff that he's doing. Pete Carroll is notorious. I played for Pete, notorious for having fun. Sean McVay, you see how Vrabel coaches down in Tennessee. Players like that. Like players it gets them off their square. It's like, oh, it's a cooler guy. He gets us. He's more laid back. You're not afraid to mess up, or you're not afraid to be yourself. Just like, I'll give you an example, like on commentators for years, they look like Pat Summerall, like Mike, they like John Madden. They're the older guys. Now you're getting young guys like Tony Romo, who's giving you all this extra excitement. Like, it's changing the way that you're looking at things. Like, oh, that's cool. I like that. It's different. I think he's one of those guys that fits in that category. This is just something different. The hell with it. It's gonna be good for the team. Like he said, he doesn't have to be an X and the old guy. And like Joique said, he tones that down in the locker room.
See, I want to ask you first the player perspective. You know, what would be going through your mind? You bring up such a great point. Really, there were 3 or 4 different trees. There were.
Yeah.
There was the Jimmy Johnson tree, and you're left thinking, how the hell does Norv Turner keep getting jobs? Why is somebody hiring Dave Wanstead? You know, there was
Schottenheimer.
There was the shot.
The
there was the
original.
Walsh. There were all these trees where it just all these guys just kind of matriculated out and got jobs.
Parcells.
And somehow the Parcells
has to be done that
and
way.
suddenly they got a second job and sometimes a third job, and you're like, how the hell is this happening? So when I heard people talk about the Old Boys Network, there was validity there.
100%.
Let's be 100% real. How did some of these guys keep getting jobs, Terry?
Yeah, Lions, the kingpin of the Old Boys Network. When you look at their general manager, first general manager when the Fords took over was the old man's drinking buddy. Then that was Russ Thomas. Then the second guy was Russ Thomas's boy. So they hired him as the second general manager, even though they had Jerry Venisi on staff who did this tiny little thing. He put together the Chicago Bears who won the 1985 Super Bowl.
Huh.
But they bypassed him for this other guy's buddy. Then after that, why did they hire Matt Millen? They didn't hire him to win a championship. They didn't hire because he's a good guy. People like him. That's not a reason to hire somebody. That's ridiculous. But that's the Lions mentality, which sunk them into the ground for decades upon decades upon decades. So yeah, the NFL is an old boys network. Yeah, if you look at press conferences, just look at press conferences when they hire a new coach. We have a relationship that dates back 20 years, or they say little things like that.
What the hell does that have to do with winning?
Because it's my boy, and I know my boy is going to come through for me. That's the mentality. And you got to get out of that.
Yeah.
Mark said all the ex-players are behind him, so I will just believe them over the media. Just an opinion. Yeah, Mark, I don't have any issue with it. My question is this, and this is to you, and if you don't apply, then I think you know what I'm talking about. What if, and I hope you're smart enough to, the Lions are going to struggle the next 2 years. It's by design, and I'm really cool with that. For the first time in my life, this is a franchise that is admitting, without saying it, we're awful. And the way that we've conducted business our entire last 50 years has been terrible, and we're going to fix it. And it's going to take time, but we are going to fix this. And to me, I love it because it's a change from blowing smoke up everywhere. We're this close. How many times have we heard that? So to the people out there, and Mark, I don't know if you apply or not, but to the people out there that think that this is going to happen right away, and Terry, you and I have been besieged by people like that. You know, I think you guys are being too mean. They're going to win 11 teams this year and everything. Okay, what happens when, not if, when they win 5 games next year? And then the year after that, they win 6 or 7. After 2 years at the helm, he has 13 wins against, 22 losses or whatever. Are people going to feel the same way? Or are you going to start to hear some of that kind of seep in? We should have known. I mean, this has been a circus.
Sean, here's the big challenge. I have said the Lion fans are stupid, and I really believe that. But here's the challenge for them: is within that losing, they got to look and say, okay, this team is improving, or I see the end result, even where he's trying to get this team, even though I don't see it right now, because he's going to have some clownish moments. And so you can't just throw up your hands and say, okay, he's been lionized and that's the end of it. You have to see if this guy is moving slowly up a ladder to make this team better, rather than just looking at his foibles.
Yep.
Yeah, two things. I agree with what you said. It's one of those things where never been done before. Said it, got it out there. We're going to struggle for the next 2 years. That helps you prevent, Jim Schwartz in and out. Mariucci in and out. Coaches just in and out. Patricia in and out. That helps you get over that trying to fire a coach after 2 years. Two, it's one of those things where, like you said, look at what the Dolphins have done over the last 2 years. They were still losing games, but it started to change how they were losing. They were in games. They had chances to win games. They were starting to win at the end of the season. You saw it happen right before your eyes. If they can have that type of success, Dan Campbell in the line, that right there, Lions fan, like that's what you want to see in the next 2 years, something like that.
If you watch this show on a regular basis, Braylon, you don't even know this. You sung to my heart because the two teams that I look at in the NFL are the Cardinals and the Dolphins. And 2 years ago, everybody and their brother thought those two teams were going to be in the wilderness forever. And both of them missed the playoffs by that much. Best case scenario is you have something like that with the Lions. Yeah. Best case scenario. But, I like what the Lions are doing. Terry, I'll go back to something I've heard you say half a dozen. They're acting like a real professional franchise now. Brad Holmes is acting like he's running a real National Football League team right now.
Well, they did an actual national search. They actually, instead of hiring my boy or my girl, I'm going to find out who's the best person out there. Now, they may not have hit. You screw up even when you do that, but you got a better chance of being a legitimate franchise rather than this, Frank over there, that's my guy. We used to eat pizza together. We used to have bourbons together. Come on in. You're my GM. They didn't do that.
Yeah. Great stuff. Yeah. Now, love to get the perspective. Braylon, one last thing before we move on. What are the guys in the room saying about this? You've been a part of rooms. You've been a part of different winning teams, losing teams, everything in between. Does this stuff matter to you guys at all, or is it just, noise that's out there that is of no concern to you?
Not at all. And a lot of times, players like the perspective, like to take the stance. Let them think this. While we're really working on this, we know what we got going on. We know what we're doing. Let us be the underdog. Oh, yeah, sure. Let everybody want to play us. Like my third year in Cleveland, 2007, we won 10 games, didn't make the playoffs, which is some BS, but 10-6. Everybody always wants to play Cleveland. We had 6 Pro Bowlers that year. Same thing in the media, same old Cleveland. Who the hell is Rob Chudzinski? He's a tight end guy. Why is he the head coach? Offensive coordinator, et cetera. We knew what we had, so when they were saying that, we were like, we'll be all right. We'll try to figure some things out. We were beating teams. It went from the same old Cleveland Browns to no one wanted to play us that year. We were 8-1 at home or 7-1. So the guys in the locker room are fine. They know what they have, and they don't mind being an underdog. Hey, let them think we're the same old Detroit Lions. But when we get inside Ford Field or when we get to wherever we're playing at, we're going to bust somebody's ass or we're going to hit them in the mouth. We may lose, but they're going to know you've been in a dogfight at the end of the game.
You remember that touchdown?
That's my first touchdown ever. Yeah. 80 yards, man, at Lambeau.
Trent Dilfer throwing to you?
Oh, man, don't get me started. My quarterback history isn't the best. My quarterback history isn't the best. He's a super smart guy, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's always great having Braylon on. He comes on the show, makes it his own. But this next segment is called Balling with Bill, where I take a run play that I love and I break it down. Take a look. What's up? So we're having the Joique Bell, what we call it, Bell Breakdown? No, it's Bell Breakdown. It's not NFL Player of the Week. It's Bell Breakdown.
It's whatever you want.
It's Bell Breakdown. So right now, this game is against Chicago, and we're playing Chicago at actually there. And right now they're in the 22 personnel, well we are, and they are in a 4-2 sub defense. And right now, I've never seen this. They almost have 10 guys in the box. They have 9 guys in the box. Play to play. Slow motion. So keep it right here. So as of right now, we're running inside zone to the left side. And right now, what I'm looking for, I'm reading the linebackers and I'm reacting to the D-line. Every coach has their own way to kind of coach running back. Some coaches say read the D-line. Some say read the linebackers. For me, I reacted to the D-line, but I read the linebackers. So right now, what I'm looking for, I'm trying to see if this backer right here is going to scrape over the top. I'm going to cut back. If he stays home, I'm going to come out the front side. But right now, what the D-line is doing, they're doing a two-gap basically where they just hold up the O-line and they wait for me to make a move, and they react off of me. Play the play. So as of right now, no one's reacting, so I can't react off of the D-line. Nothing's happening, and so right now I'm freestyling. I just have to make a play. Made 2 guys miss. Why did we start over? Good job.
Sorry.
All right, it's all good. I'm making the play happen. I don't know what happened. Great block by Riley. I was able to use his over pursuit to kind of cut back. I knew he wasn't going to tackle me. I just knew it was destined for me to get in this end zone. That took us up right here, 16 to 14 before the field goal. Gave us the go-ahead, and I think we won this game 17 to 14. And, you know, I had to hit the boss up on him, the Blade Icewood. And for people from Detroit, do you know what the boss up to get this money?
Yeah,
dance
you guys told me I
Okay.
can't disrespect that.
No, you can't disrespect.
A
Blade
homie will put a
Icewood.
cap in me or something.
Something like that. So genius.
Jesus.
And so if you look from Huddle, so pause it here. And so one thing about this play, what people don't realize is that they had a backer come in late onto the field. Right now they're in the over defense, and the linebacker ran out late, and it's already confusion. They don't know what to do. They're trying to call out who they have. Play the play. And so now we're going to take advantage of them not being prepared. Kyle Fuller out there. Shout out to Kyle Fuller. I appreciate you over pursuing as well. I don't even know who that guy was. And 6. Here we go. Bell breakdown.
Good job.
It's like when someone does a class presentation, but they're really, really good at it. You know? Like when you do your breakdowns, it's like I enjoy it because it's a teacher of the game showing the students. So.
I apologize I wasn't in there right away. I had to go pinch off a Dej loaf. So,
Oh.
What?
It was just disgusting.
Yeah, it was. So
That's what I think about that crap that.
Hey, Joique, real
guys.
quick, our Woodies have given some names. If you want to choose a name for the segment, and we'll start it next week and give them a shout out. So how about
I had a segment with the Lions. It was called Ring the Bell. So somebody says ringing the bell. So we can make it a segment called Ring the Bell, but it was something that I already did.
Did you do that? Did you do that like with the Lions.com, or was that on the television show I was on?
No, it was with
Oh, no.
Lions.com.
Okay,
And so I would
all
go
right.
there, and I would go around the locker room.
Okay.
And like once a week, and I would do a segment. I had to come up with different topics. Like I had one topic where a player had to compare himself to a car and why. You know, and so I wish we wouldn't be able to play that, would we?
No, but I can tell you that Schooled by the Bell is for the Saved by the Bell. That's a nice ring to it. Ringing the Bell, breakdowns with Professor Bell. I kind of like that, the teacher way. And Bell Breakdown. So, if any of those ring a bell.
That was classic.
Woodward Sports on a Thursday? Is it a Thursday? I don't know. I can't keep track of the days anymore. I know it's June 24th. But this is calling. We've officially come up with a name. It's called Balling with Bell. I don't know who came up with that, but I like the name. Was that you, Kennedy?
Balling with Bell.
Props. I always like to give proper attribution.
Balling with
Kennedy,
Bell.
You came up with it. I have always been a fan. Okay, and I'm serious. And I'm going to include myself in your group. Fans. Media members, we think that we get football like these guys, and then you have a conversation with these guys more often than not, and you understand how little you know.
All right.
I always bring up, I had a conversation, I got to sit in a film room with Gary Pinkel, who was the head coach at Toledo and then later went on to success at Missouri. And I asked him once, can I come in and sit in the film room? I swear I'm not going to say a word. I want to watch how it works. And he said, if you say anything, we'll beat you up. But yes, of course you can. And then afterwards, it was funny because then I had 1,000 questions and they showed me things. Because the little things that these guys that live this game, live, eat, and breathe this game, the little things that they see, I'm never going to be able to relate to that. I'm not blowing smoke up his behind or anybody else's behind. I can study it as much as I want. I can learn all the names. I can learn all the stupid Super Bowl champions, all that stuff. They just see stuff. Their brains are wired differently than our brains are wired. Even if you were the guy that had, the tremendous high school career. So, with that being said, let's get right to it. It's Balling with Bill.
Ballin with Bill. So, Sean, I'm going to ask you a question. When you look at this image right here, what's the first thing you notice? Because when you and I both talked about this a little bit earlier, you said that you're never going to apologize for another team disadvantage.
Yes.
Correct. So when you look at this, what's the first thing you see?
Well, it looks like they're going to bring pressure to the outside, but my guess, the safety creeping up is going to back up into coverage. That's my guess. So right now, you only got legitimately 1, 2, 3, the lineman. He's lined up outside, and you've got the 3 backers.
That's perfect. And that's the first thing you see. The first thing I see is the Lions' disadvantage. It's the Lions' disadvantage. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players on the field.
Yep.
And so now they're down a guy. And when you're in a run game, you like to put a body on a body.
Was this in the Caldwell era?
No, actually, this is last year. Thank you very much. No, this definitely wasn't us. And right now, if you can rewind it back just a little bit. Can you rewind it back a little bit? At the beginning, hold up. We'll hit play and go to the end zone. Please, go to the end zone for me. The end zone view. Just let it play out. All right, it's about to go to the end zone view. And I want to show you this. Pause it. All right. So right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men right now. So by them only having 10 people on the field and by them motioning Rudolph back to the left side, motion it for me. Hit play in slow motion. Pause.
Now I know what's going on.
Pause. The defense does not react at all. They don't react at all to this motion. And now you have 1, 2 guys right here, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. You have 4 blockers for 2 guys here. You have the safety so far out. Hit play. Slow motion. This is going to be, pause it. This is power to the left and to the open side. And if you look, he's pulling for this guy right here that he just took because they just have more guys. They have more blockers than defenders at the time. Play it. And so the pulling guard is going up to the safety, and that's the biggest fear is for a safety to see a 300-pound man running full speed. Delvin Cook is patient. He lets the play out, and he takes it for a 70-yard touchdown, taking advantage of everything the Detroit Lions failed to do.
That.
Ridiculous. But Ballin with Bill, breaking it down. Come back next Thursday. Are you happy, Art? Here we go.
I like that, Art or Joique. Can I tell you why I like that? And as God is my witness, I did not watch that film play itself out because a little game that I want to play is I want to see if I can even pretend to see what Joique is seeing or the running back is seeing. And Joique, I was actually happy to see that I did that, and especially once when Kyle Rudolph went in motion.
Yeah.
That at that point in time, I go, oh, I know for a fact they're running to the left, because I didn't remember that play, but like the way the Lions defense was set up, and showing the blitz from the outside and everything, I was like, well, if the Vikings are smart, you run that tight end in motion, all he has to do is chip one guy, and this might go a long way. So honest to God, I didn't watch the play, but I love watching that stuff. It's fascinating to me. I'm sorry.
And so because even with that being the case, I'm not too worried about a blitz because the O-line is going to take any run through.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to take any run through. And so the whole time I'm looking, and I used to wear a smoke visor so that the defense can't see my eyes when I'm looking at. And so if I see Rudolph come across and motion across my face and I see the defense don't slide or react with them at all, and on top of that, they don't have any outside leverage to the left, it'll it was one thing about that play I didn't like. Rudolph kind of turned his body, which gives a running back a one-way go because he's basically telling the defender that I'm going to give you the outside to run upfield. And so he's going to force the running back inside, which just so happened it was clear because they didn't have any defenders there.
And that's got one-way go?
It's a one-way go. So a one-way go is basically you want your tight end, you want your blockers to stay head up on their blocks. That way you can go left or right, you can set it up. But if they turn to a side, you can only go one way then. And so just kind of playing the game, you just kind of know these small things. So if you look from the end zone version.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
So we'll let it play out. And that's why I like to watch. So when we watch film, we usually watch the film from the end zone version, this part. So if you look playing in slow motion, if you look at 82, he turns him outside. So basically you can't go outside anymore. So you have to go up. You have to go up inside. And he has the speed to get downfield, make some guys miss. And
he made one guy miss. Isn't that unbelievable? I mean, literally, like watch this run. He made one guy miss. Watch 33. He broke one tackle. Okay, go ahead, Art. I mean, he made one guy miss. It's crazy.
He beat an arm tackle and just turns on the Jets. And if you look at the safety moves out of the way because he doesn't want to take on that big man chase. And so that's what really opens up everything right there when that safety kind of moves out the way instead of just coming straight down and meeting. He made a business decision and decided to get out the way.
What are you seeing? Okay, so now I want you to be Dalvin Cook for a second.
Yeah.
What are you seeing? I'm
saying 6 before the play even happened. First,
for real?
Yeah, I'm saying 6 before the play even happens. If
No
I had to
shit.
speak, yeah, I have 4 blockers.
Dude.
So if you go to that end zone, just the steal version, you're counting your blockers to their defenders. The defenders is only 2, so the defenders would be 2 past the center. The center has a head up zero technique on him. He has a head up guy on him. And then anybody to the left will be the defenders to that side. You count your blockers to the left based off those defenders. We have 4 blockers compared to their 2 defenders. So I'm looking at, if not a touchdown, a big play. And a big play for a running back could be 12-plus yards. And when that particular play, he was able to take a 7.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious, Joique. I love when you guys explain that stuff because it's like I'm never gonna know what it's like. I mean, sometimes you have to find your own hole. I mean, that was the beautiful thing. How many times did we say it with Barry Sanders? Everybody says, well, what if he had a great offensive line? Well, 2 things. That offensive line wasn't bad, okay? That wasn't a bad offensive line. Was it a great offensive line? Nah. But I think
Who's your favorite? Who was Lomas? Was Lomas?
I love Lomas.
Kevin Glover.
Kevin Glover was great. I just love Lomas as a human being. He's just such a wonderful guy. Shout out Lomas.
So I worked with Kevin Glover for a second, and he
you?
used to give me stories about Barry, and I would say, okay, that's why he's the greatest. That's why.
You know what? He didn't need no damn hole.
Yeah.
He didn't need no damn hole.
So
that's what made Barry Barry.
So funny thing is, so I did the intern at University of Maryland, and Kevin Glover just so happened to work at the AD's office. He worked in that department, and so I would sit down in his office. He'd give me stories. Yep. And so he'll give me stories about Barry. So day after the game, he'll come in, him and Lomas or some of the O-linemen would be in there getting treatment, and when they're done getting treatment, they'll be walking out of the stadium, heading back home. And when they were walking by the weight room, they would hear weights hitting, clean, clean, clean. And they'll walk in there, and Barry would be in there with 6 plates, 650 pounds on each side. And they'll walk in and say, "Hey, Barry, you need a spot?" And Barry said, "Oh, no, I'm fine, guys. You guys head on home." And they said, "Okay, no problem." So they kind of creeped around the corner as if they left, but they came back and they was watching. And Barry took the 650 off and then 10 sets of, did 4 sets of 10 with that weight. And this is in the middle of the season. And I'm like, you have to have some monstrous legs to hit 650 for 10 for 4 sets. I mean, so that's the type, and these are the stories I'm hearing about Barry, and just makes me say, wow, I looked up to the right person.
I love what Kenny said here. Look back at that play, and Kenny said, and that was with our defensive guru as the head coach. Kenny, that is such a brilliant point on many different levels.
It's two issues from the start of this play. First issue is only 10 players on the field, and then the second issue they didn't react to the motion at all.
And you know what the third issue is to me? You always have to know the tendency of your opposition, right?
Right.
What's the tendency? You know damn well that guy sneaking up is going to blitz because Matt Patricia doesn't blitz. So that's why it's like, so basically you're tipping your cap to me. Not only do you have that formation, but you're showing blitz on the far. Ooh, we're going to bring the safety. Wait, no, you're not. You're going to drop back in coverage because that's what you do.
Well, the safety was coming down because he had the tight end. That's why it was coming down.
Son of a bitch. and then the safety didn't move with the tight end. Right, coming up next, this was a great segment until I found out how fraudulent it was. I love the idea of Giving Tuesday, but guess what? Everybody's a fraud. We'll get into it next.
Tuesdays.
Hi.
I made this video before work, and it's just so you can all understand what I go through on a daily basis. So, Sawyer, put Priya Malone, we'll load it up for you right now.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so I'm about to leave for Woodward Sports, but I wanted to hop on really quick and tell you what I'm doing today. So, I'm calling it Giving Tuesday, but basically this will give you guys a really, really good insight on what it's like to actually work at Woodward Sports and what our dynamic is truly like. So I'm going to go through, I think either Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts and get donuts for people. And so I'm basically going to walk in the office and be like, hey, like I got something for you. And they're either going to act excited or scared or like think it's a prank when I'm actually being nice, because that's the sort of dynamic that we have. So I think I'm for sure going to start with art. So hopefully they have something gluten-free. I will pick up this vlog once I get to whatever destination. And I'll see you guys later. Hi, could I just get 4 donuts, whatever ones, it doesn't matter, just the like classic ones. And could I get those individually bagged?
For sure. Anything else?
Yeah, do you have anything gluten-free?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay, then I will just do a medium ice cap as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Yep, go ahead and pull on.
I got this for you.
No, I don't want it. And
Why?
I want you to go home.
Why?
Go home. Go home, Kennedy.
Take my gift.
No! I'm on a diet!
Oh my god,
I'm just
really?
kidding, thank you.
Okay. Come here, Juicy. Juicy, sit down.
Sit down, please.
What's up?
I got you something.
Oh no. What is it?
It's this old football. You're welcome.
No, it's not. Shut up, Art.
Oh, sorry.
Here you go. I got you a donut. Wait, why is everyone giving me this nervous look? Do you think I was lying?
Is it what flavor? Don't eat it! What kind is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, no, I was just curious. There's something behind this. There's something coming. What?
Tell him, Kennedy.
Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday!
Bro, are you serious?
Yes!
Oh, that was nice of you. Thank you. I thought there was like.
So Sawyer, we have something I keep saying we, but you have nothing to do with this. Let's make that
I
very
have everything to do with this. It's Giving Tuesday.
Sawyer, we have something for you. And first of all, how does that make you feel?
A little excited.
Oh my god, see, Sawyer's the only wholesome one about it.
Yes!
We got everyone donuts.
Timmy Hose.
Timmy Hose!
Timmy Hose! You're welcome, by the way. Kennedy's doing the video, but I paid for it.
No!
Giving Tuesday.
But Fish, I got you something.
Oh no.
Why'd you say oh no?
Because I had to say oh no. People get me stuff.
It's a donut.
Oh, thank you. You can nice. Can I give it to you?
No! Joey, I got you something.
Some more.
Uh-huh.
You falling for that. Get out of here.
No, Joey, I'm being, look in the bag.
No.
Why?
What did I do wrong?
Nothing.
Actual go. I got the big sprinkles.
It's so fitting for your
All
personality.
right, what did I do wrong?
Nothing.
What did I do? Fish, what did I do? Now get out!
What? I let 50 damn people in this damn door every single day, and you want to do some Giving Tuesday bullshit? I got time. I'm working. I'm making graphics.
Where's our donuts? Because we came here on a Tuesday. We didn't have any donuts when we got
That
here.
makes me so sad.
That no one trusts me?
Yes.
I know.
That everybody thinks it like some practical joke, but there is one good thing that I came out of it. When Sawyer has mayhem on his mind, I'm going to hand him a donut, and he's just going to change. Like, that's going to be my saving grace, because one day he's going to turn on me, and I'm going to go, hey, Sawyer, look what I have, and he's going to go, thank you, and I'm going to be okay. No, seriously, that...
Did you get Sawyer a donut?
Did you not watch the video that was just up?
Okay, because no, because no. I'm making a point. If you gave Sawyer a donut, he was the last one to start working here, and me and Sean been here the whole
I've known Sawyer the longest, though. We went to school together.
You haven't known him longer at this station.
Okay. Yeah, but I had to do that all this morning and edit it, so it was already edited and done by the time you guys got here.
Great job. Great. Kennedy, that was awesome. Was
it not perfect, though? Like,
It was perfect.
That not exactly what you thought everyone would do?
It would have been perfect if I would have came here to a donut on the desk, and we could have saved it for Giving Tuesdays.
Listen, also, I thought you would reject a
I was there
donut
at
if I got
10:28.
one.
I don't know how much
Mr.
early you
Health
wanted to
and
get.
Fitness
I was there at
over there.
10:28.
have to be a part of the video.
10:28. 10:28. Sorry.
You're complaining about not being in the video yet. You show up at 10:30.
I didn't say.
What are we doing?
Did I complain about the video? Or did I complain about not getting a donut? No, I didn't say anything about being in the video. I said getting a donut.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That is a Joique thing.
Thank you.
Tammy said, I love it, Kennedy. I like the idea. I think that's good. And you know what, Kennedy, here's the crazy thing. You guys may not know this about me.
Yeah.
I am not a donut fan. I never.
No, I just had Krispy Kreme the other day.
I think I told you this. When I was a kid, my parents thought, well, now they know something's wrong with me. They thought something was wrong with me because I didn't like birthday cake. So every year at my birthday, they learned very early. Like my mom, I remember one year, my aunt made me like this M&M cake. And like, because my aunt is like cool and she made me this M&M cake, like I ate it, but like my mom could tell I didn't like it. And my mom was like, you don't like cake, do you? And I was like, Mom, no, I don't like it. So I would get a birthday pizza. That was my birthday cake every year. No BS.
What about
never like cake. I don't like cake. I don't like donuts.
All right, cool.
I don't like shit like that.
So fine. I'll give you a pass for not liking donuts.
All right.
I'll give you a pass for not liking cake because I really don't like cake either. I would eat it sometimes if it's okay, but I really don't like cake.
Yeah.
But you do like Krispy Kreme.
Sorry.
That's
I
messed
don't.
up.
I never. No, I'm not like crazy. All right. So my kids have this thing, and we're gonna break in a second. My kids have this thing. Once a month, I get in the mood like for candy, and I have to do my candy run, like literally once a month. And like there's a CVS near my house, and I go up and I'll buy a couple candy bars, maybe a bag of Skittles, and it's like, blah, 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 blah. And then like that's it. I'm done for the month. So I don't have like I don't like.
What is it? Is it too sweet?
I just never liked it. Like it's not.
You like brownies?
Lord knows it's. Sometimes I have to be in the mood. It's all right. Ice cream's the same way. Like ice cream's I have to be in the mood for ice cream. Ice cream's like probably.
So you don't like sweets?
Yeah, I really don't like sweets that much. Never.
Okay, so you don't like sweets.
Candy's different.
You like, but just to clarify, you don't like donuts, but you'll try Krispy Kreme. Have you had Krispy Kreme?
Yeah,
before?
I've had it. It's a donut.
No.
Do you think you'd like one of the donuts with bacon on it? They do those bacon maple
I tried it just to try it.
That's
just
heart
no,
attack.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, I remember they were doing like the breakfast sandwiches when you had two donuts.
No.
And you had the.
Don't ruin my breakfast sandwich.
And they had like the sausage, egg, and cheese in the middle of it, and you ate it like a sandwich, and it was just like a heart attack sandwich or something, like a diabetes sandwich.
Juicy Jeff said, I can confirm that the donut was good. Sorry, Joique.
Thank you, Juicy.
Listen, I'm telling you, like, guys, do you know what, to me, Kennedy, do you know what that showed? That showed that we all have to be nicer to each other and improve the culture around here.
That, and
That
I
was
think
my
it
lesson.
also showed who has been working here long enough to like really know how we operate. Because Sawyer was the only one with the correct reaction, and it's because he's been here the shortest amount of time.
Are you hungry right now?
Am I hungry right now?
Yeah. Are you hungry?
Yeah. Why?
I want to buy everybody lunch today.
I don't know. I don't like this.
Oh my gosh, my Giving Tuesday.
No, I want to. I'm taking what Kennedy did.
I don't
to
like
her.
this.
No,
I don't like it.
It's from me.
I know, but I always feel
But like
with,
he wouldn't even let me buy him something out of a Birmingham roast. I don't like owing people. It's not you owing me anything.
You don't owe me anything.
No, it's friendship.
It's
yeah,
friendship.
friends do because they wanted to.
But you know what? Though?
Rocky said
Hold on. I understand where Art's coming from because I was the same way. I didn't like for people to do things for me because I felt like it was like a hidden agenda.
Sawyer, what would you like to eat? Are you hungry?
He doesn't care.
Joique, what are you in the mood for?
By 1 o'clock,
I'm buying.
I'm actually not eating. I'm not.
You're really not
soup.
eating?
Soup. I want some soup.
Can I get soup from over there?
Don't pull a Joique and order during the show. We're not.
I want to feed you guys.
Dude, you can do it at 1 o'clock. Oh wait, you're out at 1:01.
Hey, isn't the smoke show tomorrow?
Yeah.
You feed us on
I don't
Wednesdays.
know if the smoke show's tomorrow.
Oh.
Dave, is the smoke show tomorrow?
Dave, I really want the tofu.
My boy Dave is.
The tofu is really.
He's dealing with some house issues. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Gotcha.
So I don't know for sure if the smoke show's tomorrow. But no, I'm serious. Fish, will you go pick up? I want to buy everybody lunch. We need to give us some ideas about how we can improve culture around here, okay?
Yeah.
You guys. We'll do that when we come back. We'll do sports.
Giving out free hugs every Tuesday.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
No, we're not going to talk about it after the show because I'm not going to be here after the show. Okay?
101.
You're damn right.
But you know what though, Sean? You can order it on your way out.
If you want that, you tell me. I want to buy you all lunch. Can I buy you all lunch?
I'm not gonna say no. I mean, I'm broke, so yeah, I'll take it.
There's no hook. The hook's on at 3 o'clock. There's no hook.
What's the
here.
delta? What's the difference between Sean buying you food now and me buying you food a couple months ago?
Because
you was broke then.
No, it's different with you. It's different with you. You and I have a different relation. $100 bill I've never seen. Go to Sean.
I will buy.
I've
Listen,
never
right
seen
here.
that.
What do you guys want?
What is that mythical thing you have in your hand?
Go order stuff.
Oh, that's
Here you
Go order stuff.
$100 bills
Look at
are
that.
real?
Hey, Sean.
I'm not going to give you that. This is mine. But I will buy.
No, that's for the food.
Yeah, I will buy the food.
Can
I'm
I
serious.
keep the change?
If you guys are hungry, I want you to
Kennedy,
order something
Kennedy, what
right
do you
now.
want?
What are you in the mood for?
Okay, here, hang on. Time out. You give me the $100. I'll order everyone lunch. You're getting water for lunch, by the way, and I keep the $100. You know, we'll do that. It'll be great.
Oh, so you're stealing money.
Kevin said
You can never work for my charity.
culture starts from the top down. We need to improve the culture around
We
here.
do.
That video is actually depressing to me. Kennedy, you did a great job.
You did a great thing.
Kennedy, you did a
So proud
great
of you.
job. No. Kennedy, don't you dare feel guilty about
What you
that.
did.
I feel really bad about that.
No.
No, because you're starting
I
a
didn't
culture.
do it to make you sad. I thought it was funny.
Here's the thing. What Sean's doing right now, when he's off the camera, I have to. I don't want to get hit again. He's doing this, guys. I'm telling you, this is a call for help. I'm blinking my eyes. SOS, please. He hits all of us. He even hits Joique.
Steve
You
said
hate me, Sean? Sean, you hate me? Sean hates me.
He said hit. He said hit, not hate. Hit.
Oh, no, I said hit. He hits you twice on Sundays.
Steve said Art needs to visit Sean's backyard, the money tree. Art, when you were over, you didn't pluck from the money tree. I gave you the option, and you were like, I'm just so happy to play catch. I don't need to pluck anything from your money trees.
That sounds like nothing Art would say.
Listen, all that I want is one of those Wayne Gretzky cards. You'll never hear from me again. I'll be out. I'll see you later, Joique. It's been real.
And where you gonna go? And where you gonna go when you spend that money up in a month?
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, I look at those cards and I go, you are destined Florida. Oh, you look like Houghton, Michigan, and that's what I look at every one of those cards.
You want to
and
go to
that's what
Houghton,
I say.
Michigan?
I love Houghton. One of my favorite, honestly, Houghton. If I'm not joking, one destination for me. The rest of my days, I'd go to Houghton. I would. I love Houghton.
Over Sandestin.
Over Destin, Florida, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Over Destin. Okay.
Yep.
He said that I'm 5 glory holes away from $100. I mean, listen.
Lynn, you nailed it. Sean, is it because everyone seems to be so jokingly all day, every day, that when somebody does something nice,
That's what it
automatically
is.
people think it's a joke?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
That's what it is.
That's depressing to me. That's
wow.
Why do you think, like, maybe that's why nobody that I work with, except for Fish, came over my house for the barbecue? Because they all thought, like, I was going to be giving away time bombs or something.
I had COVID.
Nobody came over.
He had COVID. I
Like,
had COVID.
like the Fish came over. Easy came over. TikTok Mikey came over.
You let him in your house.
He did.
You let him
Tim
in your house.
McCullum came over.
Oh, T-Dog was there?
Am I forgetting anybody else? Those are the people that came over to my house. I had to ask Art multiple times before he came over my house.
Sean, I had COVID.
Did I charge you anything? Art, here's some wings.
I know, and I'm
ribs.
very appreciative, but I was also leery. I was like,
he played catch
that's
with
what
you.
I'm
what
talking
is
about.
this about?
So
Why?
let me buy lunch for you guys.
Fine, you know what? Buy me lunch.
What do you want? You guys order whatever
Yeah.
the hell you
Yeah.
want.
Okay.
I
What
get
do
the
you
tab.
want? What do you want?
I'm
No,
serious.
you're going to make fun of my order.
No, I'm not.
I get a chicken artichoke panini gluten-free.
Why would I make fun of
I
that?
don't know, because I don't trust anyone at this network. I always feel like someone is out to prank me or get me. That's why I've got Sawyer with me 24/7.
Kennedy,
Sawyer's the
this
one that's
was
out to get
awesome.
you.
This was like the best idea in the history of Woodward Sports. It is. This was. I'm serious. This was awesome.
This was
This
for
is a
us.
window into all of our souls, and I feel like an awful person right now. I really do. Like you
We
know
all
what?
need therapy.
I want to apologize to all the people like for not knowing your name. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. And if you want to come in here, everybody that didn't, I don't know your name, I'll buy you.
No,
lunch.
because Mikey's going to run in here.
I know Mikey.
I know, we don't want him
I'm
in
not
here.
being mean to Mikey anymore. Guess what? Mike, you win.
What is going on?
Mike wins. Mike, you win. I surrender.
What
I
is
surrender.
happening?
You beat me.
I don't
you
like
and I
this.
can go in the ring, Mike, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, if love means war, then baby, I surrender. And I'm going to lay right down on the mat. That's it. Just like that.
I'm going to get that tattooed on my
I'm
tramp
done.
stamp.
No,
If life means
nice.
war.
Nice
tell him.
needs it. Joique, seriously, aren't you bothered watching that?
No.
No, I'm not. Because I
Joique
would do the
knows
same
he's out
thing.
at 1 and he doesn't give a shit.
I would have said the same thing.
2 and out the door. Why
But
would we care?
I would not have done that if Kennedy gave it to me. If my best would have gave it to me,
Isn't
I would
that
have taken
sad?
it. Now, if Fish would have brought it to me,
Sawyer's on my payroll. I think Sawyer's the only thing I'd accept something from.
Oh, now Sawyer's your new best friend.
Because I pay Sawyer not to beat me.
Giving Tuesday is always good. But you know what, though? Lance Moore gave us the opportunity to have a conversation with him, and he gave us a lot of jewels. Take a look.
This guy knows a little something about a winning culture and helping to build a winning culture. Make no mistake about that. Also played in one of the coolest venues in college football. I'm serious. Love the Glass Bowl. Great venue.
Yeah.
And played here for the Detroit Lions as well. Kindly joining us again here on Baligian in Bell is your guy.
My guy, Super Bowl champ with the New Orleans Saints. Lance Moore, everybody. Lance, what's up, my guy?
What's up, y'all? What's going on, man? How's it going?
All is well, man. What's going on now? What you got going?
Well, it's summertime, so kids are super busy. Things are opening back up here a little bit in California now, finally. So I should say a lot of it. Things are pretty normal now. So moving around a little bit more, making sure our kids are staying busy. Gymnastics. Soccer. I mean, as much stuff as we can get them into, pool camps. I mean, you name it, we're doing it. And for me, it's kind of my downtime, my off season. Preparing for training camps to start up. I would imagine here in the next couple of days, I'm going to be signing back on with WDSU in New Orleans to do marketing with them again on TV. So we'll see, man. It's kind of like a chill time. Before things get wound back up here toward the end of July.
I was going to say, Lance, seriously, we talked to you before. Dude, you are media savvy. There are some guys that get it. There are some guys it's never going to happen. Is this something during the course of your career you thought to yourself, you know what, I'd like to cross over into the dark side and do some media work? When did that all come about for you?
Well, I mean, I think that naturally I've been decent in front of a camera, and media people when I was playing kind of always told me, "Hey, man, you can do this. You can do this." And it was something that was in the back of my mind, but it wasn't necessarily something that I was super passionate about or really was interested in when I was playing. But when I was done playing, it was kind of like, okay, well, what do I do now? And the media thing was kind of a natural progression for me to be able to get on. I worked with Sirius XM NFL Radio. I did spot work with NFL Network and ESPN on TV. And now I've got the NBC job and locally in New Orleans. It's been fun. It's been fun. I'm not sure if this is going to be something that I'm going to like keep going and see if I can get a bigger or national scale job with it. But I definitely won't turn it down. I know that I'm more excited about this job than I would be if I was having to coach and be away from my family pretty much all the time. So I guess we'll kind of wait and see.
So real quick, are you based in San Diego, or are you going back and forth from New Orleans, San Diego?
Right. So last year, obviously through COVID, there was no travel associated with any of the media stuff. Like, so I'm sitting in my office now, so I'd be live on TV in New Orleans before and after games from my office. So that'll change a little bit this year. So I'll be in San Diego, but my weekly stuff will happen here. But for the 5 nationally televised games for the Saints, I will be in the city at which the games that they're going to be playing against. So three of the games are in New Orleans. 1 game is in Seattle, and I think the other primetime game is in Tampa Bay. So for all those games, I'll be on the road. But man, 5 weeks out of what is it? Now an 18-week season. That's not bad at all. And get to watch some football at the same time as I'm working. So it's pretty cool.
Lance Moore kindly joining us here on Baligian and Bell. Lance, you just mentioned it, 18-week season, 17-game schedule. I was one of those guys a couple years ago. I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in Hades we were going to get to that with everything between the PA and the owners and everything. Yeah. Here we are. What are your thoughts as a former player on moving to a 17-game schedule?
Well, I think it was a foregone conclusion, right? I mean, money is the motivation in all of this. If you add an extra game, that adds extra money. And the owners kind of are always the ones that hold the cards, right? The PA can try to fight off as much as they want, but if the owners really want to get things done, and specifically for something like this, that adds extra revenue to the bottom line, I mean, it was going to happen no matter what. It's just a matter of what the owners would have had to give up, which I really don't think they gave up anything significant, at least, to be able to get this extra game. It was going to happen no matter what. It's just, for me, it's disappointing when they talk player safety and all these things, and then they want guys to go hit their heads up against the wall for an extra week. I don't think those two things mesh. Just be honest. Say, hey, we want to add some extra revenue to the bottom line, and I think that would be a little more respectable if they did something like that. But we all know it's about perception, and they don't want the players to be able to have any more similar cases to like the old concussion lawsuit, which I think there will be more, regardless of what the terms of the last settlement was. All they care about is their money, and we know that. So hopefully the players are able to get some extra rest through the season, which I don't know how that's going to happen. Hopefully they're going to add some extra roster spots, which, I mean, you add extra roster spots, that means you got to pay extra players. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, look, the teams that play in the Super Bowl play 19 or 20 games anyway, right? And then you add on the preseason games, and they're going to say, well, we took a preseason game away, which to me is kind of bogus because starters aren't playing that much in the preseason anyway. And they always say, well, the third preseason game. Like, right. And the third preseason game, you might play a half. Like, that's it. That's it. As I got going in my career, like, I would play maybe a quarter and a half in the third preseason game. So it's like, what are we doing here? Like you're saying you're removing something that guys really aren't heavily involved in anyway. Yeah. And then add to that less reps for younger guys that, this could potentially be their only opportunity.
I'll give you a perfect example. So 2011, I was actually in New Orleans, and that 4th preseason game that they took out, I started in that game. I wasn't a starter in New Orleans. And I started in that game, and I don't think they touched the field. So basically, they're taking things off of the players that are practice squad players' plate and putting it onto the starters' plate. Yeah. So we're paying you, you're going to play. That's that's what I took. That's what I take from them adding that extra game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Lance Moore kindly joining us here. Hey, Lance, we talked to you a few months back. I'm not sure how much we got into it, but for the benefit of somebody who maybe is just tuning in, what's your background with our new head coach, Dan Campbell? You hear the reports. I'm not in New Orleans, but you hear the reports that he was really highly thought of, and you probably have a perspective both as a player and as a guy who's out of the game. But your thoughts on Dan Campbell, our new head coach here in Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, he was actually my teammate in New Orleans. I'm not sure if it was 2008 or maybe even the Super Bowl season he was with us for a little while. But, I mean, Dan is a super hardworking, big-time motivation guy. He's a leader. I mean, that is something that has kind of been his background. Obviously, we know he was the interim head coach with the Miami Dolphins years ago, and then when he came back to New Orleans after a few years, he became the associate head coach. So a guy with leadership skills that has been trusted in multiple places, right? It's not like this Detroit Lions job is the first position that he's had of leadership. So I think, for sure, you're not going to have to worry about a lack of work with this team. I mean, they're not going to lose games because they're not prepared. Now, it's obviously going to be interesting what happens in that division because of all the turnovers, specifically at the quarterback position in Green Bay and Chicago. Obviously, Minnesota. I think Minnesota's going to have a bounce back year and be a pretty good football team. But then again, I mean, the division is up in the air. So if he can get those guys going, defense needs to play well. Obviously, they got to be able to run the football and protect Jared Goff because he's got talent. I mean, the guy played in the Super Bowl. So it's not like he's some slouch quarterback that can't get the job done. But again, I think Dan Campbell is going to have these guys working. I think it's going to be a different type of work than we saw with the last coach. But I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for Dan to get this opportunity. And even more so than Dan, honestly, is the first time for us all to see Aaron Glenn as a defensive coordinator. I mean, he's a guy that was a teammate of mine in New Orleans as well, and battling against him and sitting in some of his meetings in years past in New Orleans, just watching him communicate with his guys, communicate with the scouts when we would sit in the meetings with them. I think they've got a good group, man. It's going to be really special to see these guys, and hopefully they have a great season and are able to go on a run.
What's the name of that station in New Orleans? I'm going to give them a call and say if they don't hire you full time, they're morons, and their entire hierarchy should be. Dude, you are like I'm for real.
Breaking it down, right?
You are rock solid, man. You get this game. Joique. There's your man right there.
It's the Toledo inning.
That's what
it's the Toledo inning.
That's
you know what? I thought about doing some like journalism, media stuff in college, and I was like, I don't know. I'd rather focus on football.
Right.
So we'll see, man. I think that this media thing is sometimes about how good you are. A lot of times it's about who you know and how big your name is, right?
Exactly.
So for me, it's like it's a fun thing to do. It's something that keeps me involved in the game. And like I said, if the potential is there, I'm open to it. But I'm not going to put all of my eggs in this one basket, just waiting for one specific job to come my way. But while WDSU, so it's the NBC affiliate in New Orleans, while they're willing to bring me back, I think I'm going to be willing to do that until I get potentially a real job somewhere, and I won't.
It is a real job. It is a real job. It is a real job.
It is a real job. It is a real job, but it's not.
Well, you just enjoy doing it.
Oh no, I do. I do enjoy it. And you know what? Sometimes they allow me to come on and talk basketball too, which is fun because obviously they're in New Orleans. They talk the Pelicans. They know I'm a Lakers guy, but I'm pretty well versed in basketball. I grew up a basketball player. I still play in multiple leagues here, old men's leagues here in San Diego. So it is fun. It is fun to be able to talk about sports and get paid for it.
Yeah. How much do you miss the game? I always ask guys this. I ask Joique this all the time. Yeah. I love to talk to guys, whether they play in the NBA, the National Hockey League, the NFL, because the answers vary so much. But for Lance Moore, I think everybody knows your reputation as a player. How much do you miss the game?
I miss certain parts of the game. I don't miss practices. I don't miss training camp. Nope. I don't miss meetings.
Nope.
I don't miss getting hurt. I mean,
Nope.
there's a lot of things I don't miss. I do miss mostly, I would say, just the locker room, being around the guys, the camaraderie. Because you can't recreate those moments. And it kind of gives me goosebumps right now because it's like it's real. And you after you're done, and guys that are playing don't know this, but after you're done, you'll never have that feeling again. And it doesn't matter what group of friends you have, what things you do after football, whether in the business world or rec basketball. Like I play rec basketball, we win championships. It's not the same. Like it's just not the same.
I mean,
you put in so much work, you put in so much time and effort and energy with this same group of guys. And I was fortunate enough in New Orleans, specifically in the wide receiver room, to be with a group of great guys for so long. I mean, Marcus Colston, Devery Henderson, Robert Meacham, Courtney Roby. I think we all played together 5 years, which is kind of unheard of, maybe even 6 years together. It's unheard of in the NFL. And it gets to the point where the group success is more important to you than the individual success. Like you're not just physically invested, you're emotionally invested, and you really want to see the other guys around you do well. Man, like those are the things that I miss most about football. I miss the travel with the guys. I miss the clowning in the locker room. Just sitting down and breaking bread with the guys. Like you go on a road trip, we go to dinner. I mean, these are the things that I miss. And obviously, I miss scoring touchdowns and the crowd and stuff like that. But a lot of it is really not football oriented. It's just that camaraderie that you have with the guys.
I want to tell you the funniest group when I was there, right? Because my time, and this was a group. It was the D-line. The D-line was the funniest group. I was sitting in the locker room just to listen to the conversation. And I would be in my locker dying, just laughing on my back, grabbing my stomach. I mean, from Big Baby Sean Rogers to Cedric Atkins to Joique Gillette to Will Smith. These guys were the funniest guys in the locker room. And how do you guys get any work done in your meeting room? I didn't understand it. But those are the times you miss. Those are the times you miss. Or in Detroit, having a ping pong table out and us, having that time and having those tournaments in there, or hopping on FIFA and having those. Like, these are the things you miss the most. Or having a basketball rim and running up and dunking on your teammates while they don't see it. I mean, it's just a lot. It's these small things.
You know what? Look, people don't realize how hard it is to play in the NFL. And I know people always say that and throw that out there, but it's hard, man. Like, you see what we do on Sundays, right? And everybody glorifies what we do. Oh, you play football, you make millions of dollars. But it is hard, man. It's hard physically. It's hard mentally. It's hard emotionally. And we know that the only people that can relate to us are the ones that are there with us.
In the locker room.
You can tell your wife and your kids and your family how hard it is. And they're like, yeah, we know it's hard. We got your back. We got your back. But they really don't know because they're not in it. So that relationship that you have with the guys in the locker room is one that is I feel like it's one of the most important relationships that you can have as a player, because they are the ones that know exactly what you're going through.
Exactly.
Anything else for our guy before we let him go? I know he's got a lot of things going on in life. That's your boy. I want you to get something out there for him.
And it's funny because we sitting here, we talk about media, we talk about I guess expanding our career in this industry. And it takes me back to where I don't even think we brought this up on the last show when me and you, we both were a part of that sports media broadcast boot camp that the NFL did. And it was at that point in time I knew I didn't want to do sports media. I wanted to do broadcasting. I wanted to do broadcasting. And so, but honestly, the last 2 days were actually fun because they had us in the studio. And we were on screen. We were talking sports and doing what we love, talking about the sport that we love. But I remember Lance being there, and there was something about Lance that kind of stuck out to me. Just his connection with the camera and to make you feel like you're there when he was explaining certain things. So I definitely think it's a spot for you in this realm. And you honestly should be sitting in my seat. You should have my seat. Bro, man, thank you so much for coming back on again. Our door is always open for you. Ever want to come on and just talk sports, talk football, and catch up a little bit.
You want to get anything out there as well, Lance? Here's your opportunity. If you're involved in anything, you want to give something a pimp, we appreciate your time, my friend.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you guys for having me. My wife, who's like the hero of the family, is the boss lady that's out working, and I'm home with the kids these days for most of the time. Yeah. But we are going to get our More Family YouTube page up and running here pretty soon. Again, for the third time, we've got a lot of content. It's going to be fun. It's always busy over here with friends and family, so that's what we're working on right now. Obviously, the media stuff is on the horizon. And you all watch out for my guy, Kadarius Toney. I worked him out, or I trained him, I should say, leading up to the draft, because I always train wide receivers right before the draft. And I think he's going to have a great year. So fantasy football lovers, Kadarius Toney, New York Giants, go Lions. Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate you, Lance. Thank you.
Enjoy Cabo.
Lance Moore kindly joining us. What a great dude.
Great
you know
guy.
what he said, Art? I thought of you. I'm serious during his conversation. Let me tell you why I thought of you. Because he said something. There are things that you and Lance Moore can talk about that other human beings don't get.
For sure.
I mean, period. Art, you and I a few weeks back, I don't know if you remember, we had a long conversation on the phone, and we were talking about this industry. And that's one of the things that we brought up in this industry. I can tell my family until I'm blue in the face some of the things you deal with in this industry, they're not in it. They don't get it. But boy, when you talk to a different guy about this industry and some of the quirks, and yes, the frustrations as well, Art and I, it was like I was talking to somebody who was speaking my language. Like all of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, I don't need to translate this.
You don't.
Like he knows my language, I know his language and everything. So like when Lance said that, I saw your eyes light up and I was like, I get
true.
that. I'm never going to have that meaningful football conversation with you, man.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it because you guys have been through things, and things like that. So I think we can all relate to that. That was he's awesome. Seriously, he's awesome.
All right, so stay tuned.
Hey, hope you enjoyed our best of show. Go grab yourself an extra rib. Go grab yourself an extra pig. Go grab yourself an extra cow. Enjoy the day off. We'll be back on Tuesday.
And if you want to grab some sides, he's not going to have them, but I will. Slide through.